Hey YouTube, I'm going to be showing you how to install this LUX TX9100E. It's pretty standard, I think, with most of these, even though you look online and a lot of people complain because it can be really confusing depending on how your original system is set up. Alright, I'm not going to run a continuous video all the way through because this will take forever to do that. This is the unit that I'm going to be installing, the LUX TX9100E. That's the back of the unit. And what you see on the wall is the original plate that I have. So let me start off first by zooming in so you can see what's on here now. I know the lighting's not that great. Hopefully it will come out better on the video. Yeah, I think so. All right. Okay, so you see right now that it's got, get up here closer so I can see this with you. It's got some wires coming out of the wall. There's a green wire, and on the original unit that's installed right now, it shows G for green, which would, the letters have nothing to do with the color of the insulation. But when I installed this a few years ago, I looked at what the connections were and figured out what the wires went to, and I was able to match it up so that this installed properly. Okay, so right now you see the green is going to G. There is a red wire coming out of the wall, and that goes to the RH. There's a yellow wire coming out, and that goes to the YO. There's a white wire coming out, and that goes to the YB. There's a blue wire. I have no idea what that goes to, so it's not connected. Now, what I did, let me put this up here so you can see. I looked at the manual for the original. The green wire is the fan wire. The red wire is the 24-volt connection. On mine, I only have one 24-volt positive coming out. That is why you see this jumper over here that came with the unit. If this had a 24-volt for the thermostat and a 24-volt for the AC, one for the heater, one for the AC, then you wouldn't, AC compressor, you wouldn't need the jumper. You would have individual wires, but this unit, or my house, only has one wire coming, so that jumper is the 24 volts for the system. And that's why you see over there red 24-volt cool and 24-volt. So those two screws are jumpered. The YO, I think that would stand for yellow or orange on most systems. That's the AC compressor, and luckily the wire is yellow. And then over here we've got W and B. I don't know if that's white and black or white and blue. Maybe that's what this blue over here is for. Who knows? But that goes to the heating. And the Y1, I don't know what Y1 is for, but I don't have a Y1 in my system, so I don't need that. And so this is the best way to start off, is take your thermostat apart that's on the wall and try to figure out what the wires go to. Make sure you shut off the circuit breaker. You don't want these wires shorting out when you're disconnecting this stuff. You could blow a circuit in the AC unit, and it would cost you a lot of money to have to get that fixed. So mainly what you want to do, if you got a meter, go try to figure out which one of these is 24 volts, which is, but hopefully you don't have to mess with that. Hopefully you can just figure out from your original unit what each one of these wires go to. Now, I'm going to shut off the video. You don't need to watch me do this, but what I'm going to do is I am going to, since I've already made my notice, my labels here, I don't need to put labels on the wires. I already have my card, so I'm prepared. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove each wire from the screw. Then I'm going to be very careful, because you don't want these wires to fall back into the wall, or you get to cut an opening in your wall so that you can pull the wires out. So be really careful when you take these wires off the screws that they don't slide back in your wall. You might, if you have a cable tie, maybe you can put the big cable tie, wrap it around the bundle so that the wires can't fall in there, or just put a piece of tape around the bundle. I'm going to take these two screws off. I'm going to remove this thing from the wall, and I'll get back with you on the video in a minute so you can see what's going on. Hey YouTube, alright, I am back. Okay, you can see that I've removed the plate. What I did is, most people wouldn't spend the time. A lot of people might have just pulled the wires out or yanked the wires out from around the screw. What I did is I completely, let me zoom in so you can see it a little better. I completely removed the screw so that I had the full bare wire without bending it or damaging it or losing it, because I really don't have a lot of wire coming out of the wall. I don't want to have to solder, splice and solder extra wire on there. So that's the way I did it. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be coming back and forth in this video. This is the, let me zoom out. Oh, and you can also see I've got the cable tie. Let's see, are we zoomed in there? There we go. You can see I put the cable tie around the bundle of wires just so that they wouldn't go sliding back into the wall. And that will be very easy to cut off with a, or pull off, but cut off with wire cutters when I'm ready to do that. When I get ready to start installing the wires into the unit. Okay, so this is the thing that I'm going to be putting in. It's got the protective paper on the front, the display, and you can see on the bottom there's that little notch. Let me show you the back of this thing, just so you can see it. You can see that's the back of the unit, and the two screw holes over there, screw hole 1, screw hole 2, and I'm probably going to mount it with the anchors instead of just bare screws. Excuse me. So, all right, you go to the bottom over here. Let me see if I can zoom this out just a little further so that this makes a little bit more sense to you. Oh, we're going in the wrong direction. Hey, little adventure on my videos here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this little notchosis here. I think you push back, you push forward, you push back, you push down, you push down, you push back. Doing this in midair, so it's not the easiest thing to do. And that separates the back from the front. All right, so what I'm going to do now, there we go. We got the, let me show you what's in here since I've got the video going. You got the labels that you can put on your wires to match what your system is. What else do we have? Got the two screws in the package and the anchors, and there's that little black wire, which is probably like the pink wire that I had used for my jumper. What does this thing say? For heat pump usage only, add jumper between Y and W1. So we'll get to that in a minute. I'm not sure if I'm going to need that on my system or not. And what else do we have? We've got the batteries. Now, on the system that I had before, it was very easy to change the batteries. The batteries were right up in front over here. This, it looks like I have to remove it from the wall by pressing that little tang, that poon tang over there. I have to press that and then remove it from the wall to get to the batteries. But, you know, that's okay. As long as the thing works, that's all I care about. I've got a Hunter in there right now, or I had a Hunter in there, and hopefully this is going to work. If it works, then I'll throw the Hunter away, but I don't want to destroy the Hunter yet so that I don't want to freeze tonight if this thing doesn't work. And I have to put the Hunter back in. But the batteries are in the back. And then the last part, this is the back plate that I just took off, and it's got the little jumper wires over there and the letters that you can see for connecting everything. And as I said before, these are the two screw mounting holes, and then that little plate thing in there, that RFID, so that if you rip this off from a store, it would put you in jail. All right, so that's it. We'll be back in a minute. I'll be back in a minute to continue the video. Right now, I'm going to get out the anchors, and I'm going to mount this back plate with the anchors and the screw. I'll be back soon. Hey, YouTube. All right, you can see on the wall over there, I mounted this and I mounted this. What I did is I used a 3/16 drill. It's an American-sized drill. They give you the, I think they give you the metric version in the manual. And I just have it on a little hand drill. I didn't want to use a power drill. If you have a power drill and you want to do that, fine. My advice, whether you use hand or power drill or a whatever you use, be careful when you're going through the wall. If these wires just happen to be routed over to here and you get your drill bit on the wires, you're screwed. You're totally screwed. So you're going to have to cut open this wall and fix the damage that you've done. Unfortunately for me, when I mounted this, I wanted it perfectly even so that it was blocking the painted area, the unpainted area, and the two holes that were already in here. So I mounted it over here. This drilled perfectly. There is a stud right over here, which I didn't know. So the hand drill was able to drill through the stud. You're not going that far in. And just to make sure that everything was really good, I've got a cheapy little level over here. You don't have to do it, but I mounted the level on the top of the plastic, made sure that everything was perfectly even. Mark my little holes over there with a pen, use the hand drill, and everything is fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be taking the two screws and mounting this back plate to the wall, and I'll be back in a minute to continue the video. Alright, you can see that I have the back plate on the wall. I just wanted to show this to you. What they did when they made this back plate is they put a vertical slot and a horizontal slot. So if you measure really well with an accurate tape measure or a laser thing, good for you. But if not, this is really well designed because you can put your level on there now and you can adjust the leveling because of how they designed these two slots on this back plate over here. So very well designed, very well thought out. Somebody in the design department was earning their money well because this was very smart how they did this. I'm going to take this little thing off. We really don't need that RFID piece. And I'm going to be connecting the wires in a minute, and I'll get to that. I'll show you. All I'm really going to do is pull the wires out of the wall a little bit and mount them under the right screws, and then everything should be okay. And you'll use your manual to make the decision on which wires should go to what terminals. So I just wanted to show you this very clever thing that they did here that allows you to mount this properly. And that's all. I'll be back in a minute. All right, let me zoom in. We're almost done. I've got the thing mounted on the wall. I removed that little RFID piece over there. You can see I've got, I'm trying to zoom in a little bit. You can see that I've got the green wire connected. And right next to the green wire to the right is, let me zip on over here in front of the camera so I can make this a little easier. All right, so the green wire is already connected. Again, make sure that you disconnect your circuit breaker. Turn the circuit breaker off. I connected a meter to this thing. I thought that the power was off. I connected a meter to it, and there was 24 volts AC on here. You don't want to be shorting these wires out or blowing your system out. Connect a meter. Make sure there is no voltage on there, and then do this job. Okay, so this thing's completely mounted. Everything's clean. Now, what they've got here is, let's see, I'm going to try to get this inside the camera's view so you can see it. I don't know if you can see that. No, you can see my hand, but you can't see much else. What they've got, I'm going to zoom out a little. make it a little easier. Zooming out. Sorry about this terrible quality. Alright, so what they've got is they've got this screw that goes into this this threaded piece over here. You got the screw, and then they've got this little black piece that's behind it. And what you're supposed to do is make sure that the wire is stripped like over here, and then you slide the wire underneath this little black metal tab, and then you tighten the screw down, and it locks it in place. Oh, that would be the way to do it. Me, you know, I don't want to do it that way. It would make it easier, but I've already got the loops on here, and I don't want to cut these wires in case I ever need to do this job again. So what I'm going to do is I've removed the screw. That you can see the screws in my hand. I removed the screw, and then I'm going to take the wire and position it inside the little gap-osis over here. You got to be careful when you're doing this, because this stuff will fall on the floor, guaranteed. I dropped the green one a couple times. So I've already got the loop in the wire, as I said. Just going to push that in there, get it right over the opening, and then slowly, carefully, maybe you want to use needle nose or a screwdriver and hold it like that carefully, and just put this piece back into the threaded part so that the screw is completely holding the hooked wire in place. You can do it that way if you want, or you can just straighten out the wire and push it underneath the little black part and then tighten the screw. Okay, so I'm going to connect these screws, and then I'll finish this video off very soon. We're almost done. All right, YouTube. Let's see. That's the completed installation pretty much. Let me try to zoom in a little bit. Not that it matters, but you can see the wires are connected now. Now, remember originally, all right, sorry about that delay. Hey YouTube, all right, that's the completed installation pretty much. Remember I was talking about that chart that I had made originally with my my wires. Well, I looked in the booklet, and it said that the green wire, which went to the fan, was supposed to go to the G screw. So that's how I made my finished off my chart, just to make it easy. These two jumper wires that were jumpered on the original one that I was replacing were jumpered on this with this little black wire back here, so I didn't have to do that. And originally it was a red wire, and it connected to the R screw on this new unit. The yellow wire that was labeled on my old system as Y or O for yellow or orange went to the new system, the Y screw, and the white wire for the heater, went to the W1 screw on this unit. So everything was just pretty much wire for wire on the old system to the new system. Now let me zoom out of here a little bit. This is the back of the unit. They want you to use Duracell batteries or Energizer. Well, I use Kirkland, so what can you say? A battery is a battery. These are probably made by Energizer. And I'm sure the only thing I don't like about this is that when you have to replace the batteries, you do have to pull the unit off. But that's okay, as long as this thermostat works. My Hunter worked, but it's always been a nightmare. I wasn't really happy with it, so ever since the day I installed it, I wasn't happy with it. You can see right over here these blue switches. Some of that is for setting the fan, if it's depending on if your system will allow you to turn the fan on or not with the green wire, the G screw. There's a switch to set 12 or 24 hour time on the clock. There's an early recovery, which is, say that you want to set you want the room to be 75 degrees at 5 p.m. Well, if you set the timer for 5 p.m. 75 degrees, one option will turn on the heater at 5 p.m. and set it to go to 75 degrees. The early recovery will figure out how much time the room needs to get to 75 degrees, and it will start the heater before 5 p.m. so that hopefully at 5 p.m. the temperature will be at 75 degrees. So there's a couple settings you can do with the blue switch over here. And then where is that other switch? This one over here. This is default set for a gas heater, but you can adjust it. You can move this jumper down to set it for an electric heater if you have an electric pump. And that's it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut off the video and I'm going to snap this thing back on like it was originally. I guess you pop that thing in and snap it back down. And then I'm going to go crank on the circuit breaker and hopefully nothing blows up and everything works. So I'll be back. Okay, what do we have here? I just snapped this unit back in. There's two little tangs up here. Hopefully you can see. Let me get up here. There's two little tangs up on the top. And this front piece kind of goes over those tangs and snaps down and then pushes there, and it all latches together. There is a reset switch up at the top. I don't even know if this thing works yet. I really don't. There's a reset switch at the top. And so it says press the reset button, which is right above the next thing. So I'm going to do that. I'll let go of it now. And your options are air filter, run, cool program, heat program, set day and time. Well, I don't even know if this thing works. I'm going to have to figure out by the manual how to program it. I just want to see if this runs while we're here. So let's try the fan and see what happens. I don't know if you probably can't hear it, but the fan just came on. So the fan is definitely working, which makes me happy. I'm going to shut the fan off now. Well, that's a good sign. I'm going to have to adjust the clock and the time. The nice thing about this model is you can adjust, I think it's 4 settings, so probably on, I don't know if it's on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, probably. And you can do that for each day of the week. So you can have 4 settings and 7 different ways you do it for each day of the week. I'm going to go to cool because that should be an easy way to test out the AC. Let's go to cool, and it shows 82. I just want to see if the unit's going to kick in. If it does, then the video's finished. It shows the temperature in here is 81, and I set the AC for 68. I have no idea what I'm doing with this thing now. Nothing's kicked in yet. It's sitting on run. Still nothing's kicked in. I wouldn't think I would have to set the timer or anything, the time or the filter, but all right, nothing's kicked in yet. I don't know why. Probably because I have to read the manual, maybe. Let's go to the cool program. All right, I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm going to go shut this video off and try to figure out how to do all the settings, and I'll be back in a minute, and maybe we can make this thing work and finish off the video. All right, I'm back. I got the fan working. I'm waiting to see if the heater is going to kick in. I don't know if the heater is going to work or I don't know how this thermostat runs. So normally with my old one, everything would kick in right away. I don't know if everything's going to kick in or if I blew well, no, everything should be okay. Nothing's coming on right now. I don't know why. Oh! It just came on. All right, so there was, whoa, this is really neat. A little bit of a smell of gas. Maybe that's because the whole unit was off, the power was off. This is very, very weird. yeah, it's kind of cool. I don't know, it shouldn't sound any different, but it definitely sounds different. The fan is on, there's no doubt about that. I'm waiting to see if the heat is coming. I set it to cool and I couldn't get the AC to kick in, but you know, I'm thinking maybe I didn't wait long enough. I don't know. Everything should be connected properly. Okay, the room shows, yeah, I'm in LA. Oh, there it is, there's heat. The room shows, 90. The room shows that the temperature is 80 degrees, and I've set it for 87. And heat is coming out. So that's the thermostat installation. It definitely worked. Again, like I said, I wasn't getting any AC, but I probably didn't have the thermostat adjusted properly because I haven't read any directions and I'm just messing around with this right now. And that concludes the video for the installation of the LUX TX9100E that I purchased online for an incredibly good price, and so far I'm very happy. I'll leave a comment at the very end of the video about the AC, but as of now I think everything's good. Okay, I said I was going to leave a comment on the video, but I wanted to make this video complete. I just set the AC. There's a switch over here for off, heat, or cool, and I set it to cool, and I manually dropped the temperature down. The room is 80 degrees now. I set it down to 72, and I feel air conditioning. So, all right, this is incredible. I'm very happy. The installation was very easy. It took a long time because I was doing the video. If I wasn't doing the video, I could have cranked this out in just a short amount of time. No hassle at all. You saw all I did was I took off the old unit. I marked the wires. I made sure they didn't fall back in the wall. I mounted, I took the drill, put 2 holes in there, put the anchors in the wall, mounted the back plate with the 2 screws, and then I connected the wires onto the proper screws, clamped this or snapped this front piece back in there. I put some batteries in there, of course. Put the front piece back on and just adjusted these switches, and this thing was a very easy installation, and it's working. Everything seems to be working, so I can't really talk about longevity of quality or anything. I can say the instructions are good, the installation very simple, and everything works right now, so I'm a happy guy. And yes, I would recommend purchasing this item. I'm going to go post this online right now, and hopefully this video helped everybody.